I would say bullying, which can then decide how they represent themselves, and which can also lead to stalking and stuff.
In a lot of teen films to do with this topic, it's usually suicide that will come up as a theme, so that's probably the worst one.
I think obesity, because if you have a nation that's just using social media, you can sort of, I don't know, you just have people engaged in social media not doing outdoor exercise. Maybe you could look at something like that. That's more of an interesting turn to it, which no one else has done before.
For it to be teen related, so any issues that any teenager will have, so love, self-perception, I don't know, anything related.
School, I guess. Relationship issues. Basically just stereotypical teenage stuff.
Growing up, skateboarding is always common in coming of age movies, and a upbeat soundtrack with people listening to stuff is always visible.
Background music, because it doesn't give away too much of the storyline, but also it can build up tension within the characters.
While I enjoy some narration, I overall feel that background music would be more desirable.
I think it's ridiculous to assume that you would just use narration. I think you have to use background music.
Warm, natural colours, just because what teenagers do kind of like everyday sort of thing, so it will represent what they do, I guess.
Nice colours. Like maybe quite teenage, if it was like a more of a positive film, where like the In-Betweeners, you know, that's more lighter colours and stuff. But if it was a more darker thing like Skins, you know, it's, you know, darker tones and all that jazz.
I'd probably have to say, for teen, probably some orange soft lighting is always nice, but also daylight is really important because it shows that they go outside.
Cold colours, so reds, blues and purples, because it represents the darkness of the whole thriller aspect of the trailer.
Yeah, I would have to agree and say that darker colours and tones, possibly a blue, you know, maybe throw splash a bit of that in there, you know, somewhere.
Cold colours, obviously, but if you just use cold colours, you'll create something that's really boring and uninteresting to watch. So you've got to mix it up a little.
Something relatable to us, that would just make me want to watch it, because then I can connect to their characters.
Possibly some kind of humour, that would be quite nice to have, because, you know, I want to be attracted into it, only to be broken away at the most dramatic moment.
A love story, because I can really easily relate to that. I think it's really important that you have something like that, because I, as a teenager, can really easily relate to a coming of age film that's a love story.
I think maybe, you know, something quite edgy, you want to keep me on my toes, you know, wanting a bit more of the action, but enough to satisfy me.
Typical areas where teenagers spend most of their time, so school, their bedroom, or like the park or somewhere.
I think, obviously, stereotypically, we would say school, but I think a school is a really, really boring place to film, and it, you know, just shows that.
Where would you say in opposed to that then?
You know, maybe housing areas, you know, or places where you might hang out, you know, like around here, you know, you could say one of the hills or something, or a area in a park. Yeah.
The most important thing you must do is never do an establishing wide shot of the school, because it looks ridiculous. For the setting of the coming of age film, probably parks, the woods, which I think is really important. Or maybe an abandoned car park. If you can find something that's abandoned that you can film in, it looks really cool.
Coming of age is always quite like school based, but thriller, you know, thriller looks ridiculous in a school. Let's be honest.
Yes.
You know. But if it's also coming of age, I suppose I could understand it being in a school, but you know.
Yes, because it's unconventional, as most coming of age trailers have romance as their sub-genre, so it would be a change.
Yes, I think I would, because you know you see a lot of coming of age films nowadays, and you see a lot of thriller films nowadays, but you very rarely see a mix of the two.
Coming of age thriller is definitely one of the most outlandish genres I've heard personally. If you think you can do it, I think you can do it.
Yes, because it would show a connection between the two and that they come from the same film.
Yes, because I don't want to be thinking it's a different coming of age thriller and then you've lost your originality.
Which do you find more preferable and why? In both layout and colour sense.
Okay, well, I prefer the positioning of like the camera here, so how you can see her face. But then on this one, I like how you can't see her face because of the lighting and also the way she's positioned, as it doesn't show too much of what's either going on through her mind or too much of what she's like as a character.
For a thriller, I'd have to go this one. For a coming of age, I would have to go for this one. Because this one, there's something obviously scary, because there's all the darkness, and then there's the one hint of light, you know, which the light actually makes it look darker than it is. And this is, you know, a calm, normal looking person, which could relate to calm, normal people. So if you're going to do a mix of the two, you know, I'm not sure, but I prefer this one, generally.
This one, for the positioning of the characters and everything, but I like the layout of this one, because I really like the that thing you got going on there, which I think would look really cool if you made it into a poster.